So if you've got an issue with your hose bib, or some people like to call them spigot or sillcock, where it's leaking, then this is a video for you. We're going to cover the 4 most common leaks. If you get a leaking from the actual hose bib faucet where you attach your hose, that's one scenario. You can also get water leaking from just beside the handle. That's a second scenario. You can get water leaking from your vacuum breaker, which is this knob on the top. That's a third scenario. So the fourth scenario is where you have water leaking inside your house. Typically that's because you left a hose on during the winter, and then as the water freezes, it splits the pipe on the inside. So the first thing we're going to want to do, and don't miss this step where you're going to be covered in water once we get outside. So you want to go into your furnace room or wherever your water is in your house. You're going to look for a manifold like this, and you're going to find the one that feeds to your hose bibs that you're going to work on. And hopefully you should have 2 ball valves like this, one for the hot, one for the cold. So here we're going to just shut each one off. And these are ball valves, so they just take a quarter turn, and those are turned off. If you don't have something like this, you're going to have to go to where your main comes in the house, and we'll show you that here. So now we're over where the main comes into the house. So what you'll see typically, at least in Canada, you have a pipe coming in out of the floor, a ball valve, and then your meter. So this is what you're going to want to shut off, is the ball valve, if you don't have a localized shutoff. Some of the older homes, you'll actually have like a hose bib type spigot like this, where you'll have to actually tighten it off to close it. The ball valve, it's just, again, that quarter turn. So make sure you do that, and then we'll head outside. So now that we've got the water shut off inside, grab yourself a bucket, and we're going to open each of them up and bleed off any water that's still in the line and any pressure that's in the line. And then once it's stopped, you can just grab a rag to soak up the last couple of drips. All right, so now that it's stopped dripping, first thing we're going to do is there's a screw in the center of the handle. In this case, it's a Phillips, so we're going to take that out. It can be quite tight, so make sure you don't strip the head. So you can grab a crescent wrench, and we'll just undo the packing nut. So once you have the packing nut off, just take the handle, and we're going to just put it on and pop that screw in temporarily again. And then we can back the whole stem out. And you'll feel, so there's internal threads. So once they've disengaged, then it should just pull right out like that. So for our repair, since we have a hot and cold that are both acting up, I went out and bought 2 full replacement stems. These are just sourced locally, $18 each. If you know the precise type of washer at the butt end and the bushing or the packing nut, if you know those exact sizes, you can just buy those 2 parts, and it'll cost you a fraction of that. So here's the replacement. So basically what's happening is, if you're getting a leak from the actual hose bib thread, it's this end seal has gone. And you'll see that on here. Not sure if we can get it to focus. But that end rubber is all degraded, so that's why it was leaking. If, like on the cold, you get the drip from that packing nut, you can, as a temporary fix, what you can try and do is give that nut, just tighten it up. It might fix it. It's enough to squeeze this packing washer a little tighter. I've tried that already, so I have to replace the whole thing. So once you've got to this stage, we can just take the replacement, just make sure it's clean, then we can pop it back in. So we'll pop it back in, and we can take the handle, slip it on, and then we'll thread that in the back. Like that. And then we'll put in the packing nut. And we'll tighten that up. I don't think you have to go super tight on this, just enough to expand that washer. And then we can put the handle back on, a little brass plate. And there you go. So that's one done. So we'll move on to the second one. So same thing here. So we'll take off that center screw. So in this case, because it's been dripping, it's probably built up a bunch of crud in between the stem and the handle, so this handle is seized on. So if you run into this problem, what we can do is we're going to pop that screw back in real quick. We're just going to take the whole thing off. And then I'll show you how to separate the handle once we get the stem out. So we'll loosen that packing nut. And there we go. So like you can hopefully see here, this one, the back washer is actually in pretty good shape. But this front one has obviously deteriorated to the point where it can't create a proper seal inside, so then the water gets passed. So let's go back, we'll move over to my workbench, and we'll show you how to get off this stubborn handle. So now we're going to take off this stubborn handle. So to do that, we're going to need a little piece of pipe. You want the diameter of the pipe to be either the same size as this ring here, but no bigger than the outside diameter of the handle, because we're going to end up putting this whole thing inside and then tapping it through. So what you want to do is, the handle is not threaded, so the screw goes just directly into the shaft. So we're going to take that screw out maybe a 1/4 inch or so, just like that. Then we're going to take the whole thing and we're going to put it into the pipe. Then you can take your screwdriver on the top of the screw, and you take a hammer and you just give it a couple whacks. And that's enough to loosen it off so that we can get it out. So we can just take the screw out the rest of the way. And there we go. So let's put in the replacement now. So now we've got our replacement shaft. So we'll pop that in. Grab the handle. And we can thread it in. Up on that packing nut. And remember, it doesn't have to be super tight, just snug. So now that we have our packing nut in, we're going to put the handle back on. Brass plate and the screw. And that's faucet number 2. So we're going to go downstairs, turn the water back on, and hopefully nothing explodes at us. So now we have the water turned on inside. We're just going to grab our bucket, put it underneath, and just make sure they work okay. Which they do. And I'm going to say right off the bat, I have those packing nuts tightened a little too tight. So what you'll find is if the packing nut is too tight, it's really difficult to turn the faucet. So in this case, I need to pop the handle off because my crescent wrench is too thick to go in behind, or at least I need to loosen it off so I can get it in. That should be more than enough. And then we're just going to back it off a little bit. That's pretty nice right there. There you go. So we'll do the same thing for this one. I'm pretty sure that that packing nut is too tight. Well, it's not terrible. I think we're going to have to do the same thing and just loosen that off a little bit. So these frost-free hose bibs are actually 12 inches deep. So after you shut it off, it'll still probably drip a little bit, but it's not dripping from the packing nut or the washer in the back. So because this one was leaking from the packing nut, we're just going to take a cap and we're going to thread that on and put the bucket just in case. And there we go. So there's full water pressure in there now. Nothing's leaking. So 100%. So now we're going to walk you through the repair portion for repairing the anti-siphon. Super simple. The top should just thread off. If it's a little tight, you can grab a pair of pliers. Inside, there's the cap. And then there's just a little piece like this. So the way this works is when you turn on the hose, it pressurizes the faucet itself. This little piece gets pushed up from the pressure into the seat in the top knob, and it seals it off. When you turn the valve off and water starts draining out of the hose, this drops down and allows air to be sucked into the anti-siphon, and it allows the hose to drain completely. So that's the whole point of this piece, is when you close the valve, it allows the hose to drain so that it doesn't freeze up. If for some reason the hose is turned off and the water pressure stays, it keeps that whole stem full of water. And that's where you can run into the problem, where you have water dripping inside your house, where in the winter that whole stem can freeze and it'll split. If that is your problem, unfortunately, that requires you to replace the whole faucet. So then for this repair, I bought a replacement kit. Super simple and cheap. I think the kit was $4. Comes with a replacement cap, which I'm going to throw away because it's just cheap plastic, or my original one was metal. Comes with a new O-ring, which I'm going to keep. And it comes with a replacement centerpiece, and it's identical to my original one, so I'm just going to swap that right out and get rid of my old one. You can just take that O-ring off of the cheap one and toss it away. Then you can take the O-ring off of the original, and it has I'm not sure if you'll be able to see right here. It can focus in. Right here, you can see it got kinked or crushed. So that's part of the reason why it's leaking. And then the old washer is no good as well. So we'll take the new O-ring and the old cap. We'll just put it on and just make sure it's seated all the way around. So once you've got the new O-ring seated, you can take the other part from the new kit. And it just drops inside like that, washer facing in. And then that whole thing just drops on top. And you can thread it on just so it's snug. And that's the fix. So we've included all of the links for all the products that we used. They're down below in the description. Feel free to go and check them out. Just click on the link. It'll take you to Amazon and you can check out those products, add them to your cart, and then you can check out whenever you want. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you next time. First thing we're going to do is grab a Phillips screwdriver in this case. Some might be just a flathead. And we're going to remove the screw from the center. Some bitch, that's on tight. So once you have that out, the handle should just pull straight off. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Fuck, nothing worked well.